What's up, folks? Welcome back to day number 42 of the Bible in 365. Today we are taking a look at Numbers chapter 3, picking up in verse 33, and we're exploring all the way through Numbers chapter 5, ending in verse 22. Y'all know the drill. Let's go ahead and get started. So our reading picks back up today in Numbers chapter 3. Within this chapter, the Lord has commanded Moses to count the Levites, and in particular the males. And these are the males who are going to be able to serve the Lord. And so it numbers them all out and tells us that all the males who are 1 month or older number 22,000. And then God tells Moses towards the end of this chapter, in verse 40-41, to count all the firstborn males of the people of Israel. And it turns out that those add up to 22,273. So there's 273 more. Because of this, there is a redemption tax that is put on them that is collected and given to Aaron and his family, to his sons, and that's 1,365 shekels, or sanctuary shekels. And so essentially this is redemption money because the Levites are standing in place of the firstborn of the Israelites. So they're supposed to represent the firstborn that are to be in service to the Lord. Now, moving forward to chapter 4. Within chapter 4 of Numbers, it deals with the census of the Kohathites, and essentially it focuses on a couple of tribes in the region, and it discusses who is going to be responsible for various duties, in particular when they're moving the camps. And so the Lord tells Moses to take a census of the Kohathites, which is a particular branch within the Levites. So it's a particular clan within the Levites. And these are the men who are between ages 30 and 50, and they are going to enter into the temple to work on it. And at this point in time, the Lord also tells Moses and Aaron to take multicolored cloths to cover up the tables, the lamps, other items in the temple. And this is supposed to be done in preparation of the camp having to move. And so it's to protect the items that are in the camp and in the tent of meeting. And so special care has to be given to the holy things inside the temple because they're exquisite, they're important. And so the Kohathites are told to be very, very careful when they're dealing with these holy things. They can't even look upon the items because if they do so, it's going to lead to their death. So that's part of the reason why they are also covering them. Now, at this point, Moses suggests that a census is taken of the Gershonites and the Merarites. And so the Gershonites are tasked with carrying the curtains from the tabernacle. And the Merarites are tasked with carrying the frame of the tabernacle. So the curtains is like what covers it. It's like the outer tent, essentially. And then the frame is what the Merarites carry. And so they're also carrying other items, but these would be the two main things that they're tasked with. Now, at this point in time, the various Levite clans are numbered. And this is just kind of a part of the census, and the total number of people in each clan varies. The largest of those clans was about 3,200 people, and the others were 2,700 and 2,600 roughly. All right, folks, moving forward to Numbers chapter 5. Within this chapter, God tells Moses to have the Israelites to ban people from the camp who have skin diseases, skin discharge, they're ceremonially disclean due to a dead body, and they're supposed to be sent away from the camp so they're not going to defile it because God lives there in the camp. And so the Israelites did as Moses commanded them to do. Now here we do also see that there is a restitution for those who have been wronged. And we see that people have to make this full restitution, and they were supposed to add 1/5 or a 20th of its value to give the individual that they had wronged. So if the wronged person was not a close relative, then the restitution is God's and has to be presented to the priest. And also the restitution is partnered or paired with a ram. And so all of these contributions go to the priest and they stay with the priest. The next section, verses 16 to 22, talks specifically about an unfaithful wife. And essentially, if a woman is unfaithful by having sexual relations with another man, or if her husband suspects that she has been unfaithful, then the husband is supposed to take her to the priest and take an offering on her behalf, which is essentially a bushel of barley or flour. And then the priest goes through a ritual, and essentially he delivers a curse, and puts the woman under oath, essentially, saying that she hasn't slept with anyone and that no man has slept with her. And this involves some bitter water. And essentially, it's really interesting. It says, "May God cause your people to curse and revile you when he makes your womb shrivel and your belly swell. Let this water that delivers a curse into your body, so your belly swells and your womb shrivels." Then all the women should say, "Amen. Amen." So essentially, it's a really big deal. Unfaithfulness results in a curse upon the woman. It is at this point in time, in verse 22 of chapter 5 of Numbers, that we end our reading for today. All right, folks, I hope that you will join me tomorrow for day number 43 of the Bible in 365 as we take a look at Numbers chapter 5 beginning in verse 23 and explore all the way to Numbers chapter 7 ending in verse 59. As always, folks, God bless.